Hello lovely people, good afternoon, how are you? I hope you're well. Well, I'm continuing on from previous video. This is part 2 of, yes, I think I'm going to call it The Frugal Girl at Harvest and Preserving Time, because that's what this time of year is all about, isn't it? It's getting that gorgeous food in. You know, we've worked hard all summer to keep those plants alive with water. All that hard work has now come to fruition. We gather in our harvests, and the most important thing is that we store them appropriately. So whether that be, you know, drying things and making sure things are spread out to dry thoroughly, which reminds me I still need to do that with my beans. They're in bowls in the front window because I don't have any free trays at the moment. So what I may end up doing is getting one of the free newspapers from the train station and making, I can sort of give it a little bit of an edge, put them in there. But yeah, whether it's drying things, freezing things, bottling things, whatever it is, you know, that's our priority at the moment, isn't it? Is preserving our food. But also, as a frugal girl, one of my other priorities, which I'm going to crack into now, is preserving my seeds. Because I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but if I don't have any seeds for next year, I won't have a garden. So I've got some more tomato seeds here that have that have been fermenting again for, you know, a few days to ferment, give it a top up. When I was doing this the other day, I was in a right muddle of, do we discard the floaty ones or the sinky ones? You want the ones that sink. Any of the seeds that are floating, no good. So I've got rid of all the scummy stuff, give them a bit of a rinse out. Remember which ones they are. So this is a self-seeded plum type. This was one that came up in my parsnips. Parsnips and calendula. Noise for a minute. All out? Yes. So, you know, it's dead simple. It's relatively quick. Just make sure they get set aside, have their ferment for a few days, and then we get to this stage, rinse, well, scum off. Whoa, it does an half stink when you open the lid. Scum off, give them a rinse, in a sieve, bang them out, label them. Pooey, yeah, don't forget to label them. Put them in a nice warm sunny windowsill, if you've got any windowsill space left. You see, that's the other thing at this time of year. In the spring, the windows are mega full with seedlings, aren't they? I love that moment each spring when... Sorry, this is a bit of a noisy thing to do with you, isn't it? Yeah, I love that moment in the spring when I have finally transported all my seedlings from the flat down to the garden, and I get my windowsill back. Which one is this? Gardener's Ecstasy. Don't you jump across. You're definitely my little plums. Yeah, the Gardener's Ecstasy, really prolific, really early to ripen, so that's quite useful in a blight-prone country, but really, really tiny. Now, for most of them, I've been bottling them, which means basically when I bottle them, I skin them first. So that means plunging them into boiling water for a minute, taking them out of the boiling water, plunging them into an ice bath just to release the skins, get the skins off, blitz them all, put them in the bottles, into the water bath can, 2 hours of boiling, hour and a half, blah, blah, blah. They were so fiddly to do that. I was thinking, oh, I don't know whether I'll bother doing them next year. But then, of course, a bit late in the season, but I finally tried Richard and Paul's roasted tomato pasta sauce. Well, look, I don't know whether they call it a pasta sauce. I guess it's the kind of sauce you would mostly have for pasta. But as I don't eat pasta, yeah, I'm not a pasta eater, but I've already had it on kale. Gorgeous on kale. Sorry, this is so noisy, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Right, let's quickly do this, get rid of the noisy bit. What are you? You are orange cherry. Yeah, so since discovering Richard and Paul's roast tomato sauce, let's just call it sauce, not pasta sauce, my goodness, it couldn't be easier, honestly. Just chop everything up, whack it in a tray, whack it in the oven. It comes out, just blitz everything up, absolutely brilliant. So because of that, because of discovering how easy that is, I think I will grow the gardener's ecstasy again. They're, like I said, because they ripen early, that's really useful. They're an absolutely beautiful little salad tomato at the beginning of summer. Oh, that first longed for tomato every year. So yeah, they're gorgeous in the salad, but I've been roasting some as well, and they're so sweet, beautiful. So yeah, they're definitely on the list. Good. Another good job done. Like I said, dead quick. It's, you know, you can see that's just like a 5-minute job, but it's just one of those things of always thinking of, yeah, that needs doing, make sure it gets done because it's next year's seed, and that's mega important. So they will go in the front window. What next? So the roasted tomatoes I was showing you in the last video, they're just sat in the oven at the moment, not doing anything, they're finished. I haven't brought them out yet because I want to blitz them. So when I followed Richard and Paul's recipe, they don't blitz them, but I like my stuff blitzed, I like that kind of creaminess. So I did it with the first batch. The intention was to add it to the second batch, leave the second batch whole. But blitzing it, oh my goodness, not to an absolute, not to soup, there's still texture to it, but my goodness, it really sort of combined the oils and the fleshes and just made it so creamy and gorgeous, and that's what I tried on my kale, so beautiful. So the next thing to do today, they need to come out and get blitzed, but first of all I need to wash up, because, I don't know if you can see, there's the blitzer. I was doing more tomatoes last night, really late, and whilst they were in the oven I did most of my washing up, but once they came out of the oven they needed to be blitzed, so that happened really, really late, and by then I was like, I cannot face doing any more washing up. And that's another thing at this time of year, isn't it? I probably spend an hour a day washing up at the moment in batches. So, right, I'm going to say toodle pips to you for now. I'm going to get washing up, get these tomatoes out, get them blitzed, and then think about the next job on the list for this afternoon. Can't remember what it is. I have no idea what it is. That's why I keep lists. I think it might be a bit of time back on the computer, so I may join you in a few minutes back over on the computer. Well, that was interesting. I had the radio back on whilst I was washing up. Can you see, such a teetering pile. It was mainly to get the blender washed. Yeah, it was interesting because there was one of the games concluded that I was listening to, and they were about to go over to another court to start listening to another match where they were just still warming up. So I had that kind of little bit of time in between of doing chat. And I've been grinning to myself because I was thinking, yes, 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 this is someone after my own heart. They were talking about, this is so random, they were talking about, in your fruit salad, would you like a piece of salmon? Like, no, it's a fruit salad. And anyway, they kept quizzing this woman, and she kept saying that she was literally repeating the same thing over and over again. That she doesn't want savoury food things in her sweet things. I was like, oh yes, a girl after my own heart, thank you. You know, if I have a salad, as in, you know, a green salad, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumber, what have you, I don't want anyone mucking around and starting sticking blimmin' fruit in there. It's like a savoury salad. A goat's cheese salad, walnuts, beetroot, lovely. Don't be putting any fruit in there. It's like curry. People who do curry and then put sultanas in it. No! Sultanas go in cakes. Anyway, it tickled me, and I thought, I'm so glad to hear someone else saying exactly what I say, because honestly, when I've said it in the past, I get funny looks. Right, I'm going to quickly whiz this one, because I just want to show you sort of before and after in terms of the texture, because it really does make a difference. So, bit of a noise for a second. If I turn it on, how many times do I do that? So what, 10, 15, 20 seconds? Bring this over to give you an idea, because it's all going to go into this bowl now, and then leave it to cool a bit before I portion it out for the freezer. But can you see? So it's not complete mush, but look, it's just this. Oh, don't splat yourself with it. It's gorgeously creamy. Oh yeah. So that, rather than, let me pick this one up, it's still a bit warm to hold my hand, rather than in their sort of whole pieces. You know, have a go both ways. It's one of these things, isn't it? If you get a nice recipe like this, it's dead simple, dead straightforward, do your own things with it. Whether that's blitzing, adding different ingredients. Is that going to work? This is where I'm about to get very messy. Sorry, you've got the back of the pan, not the front. Do you know what I realise? With this batch, these two batches now, I didn't have any peppers. Oh, how silly when I had all the peppers out. Never mind. Actually, that's fine, because the peppers were a lovely addition, and really I only use them to make freezer space. I'd rather have the peppers available for other dishes through the winter. So, carry on with this, get these done, more washing up, and then I think it's time to have a bit of computer time. Oh, nice little sit down for a minute. What's the time? Crikey, it's 3:30. The day doesn't half disappear quickly. Yeah, I'm having another sit. As you'll have seen as this day has gone on, I do a standing job, a sitting job, a standing job, a sitting job. And as the day goes on, the length of time I do a standing thing for gets shorter and shorter as my knees get angrier and angrier. But yeah, it's fine. I can do it. It's all doable. I just have to make sure I balance it like that. And yeah, it's brightening up a bit. The rain has stopped. It's supposed to be raining all day. And actually, I was kind of glad of that in a way, because I have got tons of bits to get on with. I've got some items for the shop to be cleaned and photographed and added, and well, there's always a ton of stuff to do indoors. So I was quite glad of the forecast of all this rain. Oh, but I'm looking out now and it is brightening up, and I'm thinking, oh, shall I go to the garden? I don't think I will though, because I don't think I'll manage the walk there, to be honest. I know it sounds really babyish. I'm not a baby, honestly, I'm not, you know. It's just, it's a bit sore. And, you know, there is stuff to do inside, so great. And the thing is, if I go to the garden at this stage in the day, having already, you know, mashed my knees a bit, how much am I going to get done there? But the way I've done today, as in standing and sitting, if I was in the garden, it would be the same. I would do a job for half an hour, quite often with you guys for company, then sit down outside my shed for 5 or 10 minutes. Not too long, because if I sit too long, like now, I'm feeling really quite sleepy. But yeah, alternate them. So, tomato sauce, it's all in its little individual pots. I've had to go over to different pots now because I'm out of my flat ones. That's on a cooling rack. The lids are on top to stop any flies going in, but they're not screwed down just to let any steam out. Let them cool, then they can go into the freezer. One of my freezers has got a specific top section for freezing newly added foods. So I try to keep that section free. It's filling up. But after I've made something like this, once they're cool, they'll go into that top section, freeze overnight, and then I'll shove them into other parts of the freezer. So now I'm getting to the stage where I can do my little bits of edits on this evening's video. That's great. And once it's on YouTube, it's actually going through more quickly than I expected. That's fab. But I'm also about to get stuck into one of the things I really enjoy every day, and that is to talk to you all via the magic of the computer. I mentioned a couple of days ago, I think, that I think it was when I was having my midnight tomato session, that normally I try between 8 and 10 to make that my sort of computer time. I answer comments, answer messages, answer emails, answer queries, what have you. And I did do some of that this morning, but I had quite a few other email-y, admin-y type things to do that were quite pressing, that were nothing to do with my social media, but they needed my attention. I do quite a bit of admin for my great aunt, so I had a few bills to sort for her this morning, and she's always going to be my priority over you guys. Sorry. Not sorry, of course I'm not. She's my adored great aunt. So yeah, so now I'm going to set to, and let me find my screen. There I go, onto my Facebook screen. Bring up my little comments bit. Don't shout out, don't make noises, that's an advert. Ooh, horrid. Yeah, I'll sit here now for the next hour or so. I'm fidgeting when I'm sitting, I'm fidgeting when I'm standing. I need a new body, it's so annoying when your mind and your heart are still 20. Anyway, digress. So yes, I'll spend an hour or so doing computery stuff, and that will take me up to the time, probably about the time when I'll put out the next video. I'll put that out. Once that's out, I'll leave it for an hour or so. I'm going to go off and do more lavender processing. It's taking me forever to get the lavender done. Then when I've done an hour of that and I need to move around, I'll probably come back to the computer and answer any initial comments, queries that have come from the newest video, and then just carry on. I'm wondering about, once I've sat down for a while, I've got that big parcel downstairs and I'm dying to play with it. So I'm wondering about going down and at least bringing half of it up. I might do. But for now, I'm going to talk to all of you via the computer. So let me get on with that, and I'll see you probably back here in an hour or so, and we'll see what we can get up to next on this now not grey wet day. I think it's going to be grey and wet again anytime soon. It's funny because I'm listening to the tennis, and there's been so much rain in Paris all throughout the whole first week. I'm kind of listening to when they're getting their rain and thinking, oh, well, maybe in about 2 hours that will have come up to us. I don't know which way the rain is moving. But yeah, never mind. Right, I need to get on with this. So, toodle pips for now. Gosh, the light's going. Try and find somewhere to be in the light. It's about 5:30 now, and I've been carrying on with all sorts of bits and pieces this afternoon. I still haven't written my mum's birthday card, but I don't want to do it in a rush. I want to make it special. And I've got a little, I've gone a bit over the top this year because she's got a 0 on her birthday. I've mega splashed out on a gift card for a shop she really likes. The thinking being that I've checked actually with the company, she can shop online, she can do her browsing and spending online, and they've got a beautiful website. So rather than me going to the shops, because I'm trying to avoid them, picking something that may not be exactly what she wants, she can A, pick exactly what she wants, and B, do it from home so she doesn't have to go out either. Anyway, I haven't got around to doing that yet because, like I said, I want to spend some time writing the card, writing a nice message. I've been cracking on with my August accounts. So I kind of do my accounts in 2 halves. Not August, that will be a pickle. September. When we get to the end of the month, I do all my expenses because I know exactly what they are. Well, all bar a couple. So things like PayPal, YouTube, that sort of thing. That doesn't come till the middle of the month when I get my fees taken out. But I can do the majority of it now. I do put it onto the computer, but I actually like doing it by hand, on paper, doing a bit of mental arithmetic. It's good for my brain, and I love, love, love numbers. And actually that reminds me about the fact that I have 2 desks. I'm a 2-desk girl. The thing about the desk in the kitchen, the desk out here, this little table, is mostly my sewing table, but it's also a desk. This tends to be where I do things by hand, either handwritten letters, when I'm doing Auntie Teapot's bills, that sort of thing, if I'm writing cheques, what have you. In the kitchen, the computer tends to live in there, and I tend to leave that for video editing, video rendering, video uploading, social media, what have you. So it's actually kind of useful to have 2 desks, because while all that's happening in the kitchen, I can come out here in this nice kind of quiet, serene environment and just do things by hand, which it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to do arithmetic. I know there's going to be a few people who shudder at the thought. But also, oh, did it just start ticking? I wanted to show you something funny. Right, I don't know what the time is. I think it's gone 5. I can sort of tell by the light because the light is going. This clock, it's literally just started ticking again by me bringing it in here to show you. So this clock, quite often in, say, cooking videos or when I'm in the kitchen, you'll see me glance really high up and I'll say, oh, time's getting on. It's because this clock lives right up on the very top shelf. I have to go on tippy toes to reach it. And it sits just in front of my blender jar, you know, the jar part, not the base with the motor, that's next to it, the jar part. So after my 17th washing up session today, I'm exaggerating, there were only 19. I was putting it was such a near miss. I'd got the big bowl of, what do you call it, the tomato sauce, a big bowl of it, beginning to cool before I divvied it out into my little portion bowls, whatever. I reached up to put the blender away and I knocked it off the shelf and it hit my worktop and sort of bounced, and it was bouncing in slow motion towards the bowl of tomato sauce, and I went and grabbed it from underneath. I just set it to the side, forgot about it and just picked it up now, and it was still saying 3:05 and not working. One of the hands has come off. Can you see there? It's just, that's the second hand is now sitting in the bottom of there. Oh, but it's ticking again. It wasn't ticking. Oh, maybe it's not the end of the world. I was going to say, if it was the end of the world for this clock. A, it would be annoying because I hate waste, but B, not to worry too much because I think I saw a sort of a wall clock, one of those round wall clocks in one of the charity shops the other day. I've always fancied having a massive station clock right above the cooker. I like that playing with scale of a massive clock in quite a small space. But on the other hand, one of the reasons I've never done it is A, because they're expensive, and B, do I want to be confronted by time like that? I don't think I do. It would just remind me how quickly it's going. So anyway, oh well, I'm chuffed. It's definitely ticking. I'll set it to the right time in a minute. I don't know what the time is. Right, okay, so good. I've had some good quality, quiet desk time. Bills, bits and pieces. I've just nipped out to the post box because there are a couple of things I forgot to post this morning. They're just like bill things, so I can put them in the letterbox rather than having to queue like with a parcel. But slightly kicking myself for not having done that this morning. But actually it's okay because it's that thing of moving, walking for my back. It's really good. But now I think it's time to go and release a video. Release the video. So it's just a couple of pushes of buttons to get that done. And then, honestly, I'm beginning to flag a little bit. You know, it is about 5 o'clock now, so I've been on the go since 7. I can't even work out the hours. 7 a.m, it's 1700, so it's about 10 hours. That's okay. I know I've got energy to carry on, but I think what I should probably do is get this video out and have a bowl of soup. When I was putting all the peppers away, way earlier today, I suddenly thought, ooh, as I was doing a jig, so I've grabbed out of the freezer a portion of courgette and potato soup. I've got a little bit of sort of almost stale bread, but if I toast it, it'll be yummy again. And I've got a tiny bit of cheddar in the fridge, so I'll put that in the top of the soup. So that'll be a really nice, warm, hearty, filling meal for me. And then crack into the evening's work. But first, yeah, don't forget, go and upload that video. Go and release the video, as it were. Release the hounds, release the video, whatever. Right, cracking on. I'm slightly bored with doing lavender. I've done another bag, but yeah, really bored of doing it. So I thought I'll move on to, sit still. I'll move on to doing some of the cardboard. It's great being able to grab this stuff so conveniently. It's a great resource for the garden. Resource. It's a great resource for the garden. The worms are going to love chewing on this stuff this winter. But what they don't want to chew on and what they won't chew on is this stuff. The plastic tape. You know, it may seem a bit of a bother to do it if you're doing it too. But I tell you what, it's worth it, because the last thing you want to be doing in the spring as you're prepping your beds is having to fish out loads of bits of plastic. This is what the autumn was made for. Autumn wet days. It was made for sellotape removal on cardboard. these boxes, I get them from a particular place. It's actually the health food shop above which I live, so it's really convenient. And I know, because it's the same boxes every time, I know that it takes 7 boxes to cover one of my beds. 3, and then tear one in half, either end. So, how many beds will I have to cover this winter? Well, I've got slightly more brassicas in than normal, but I think I normally have to cover about 13 beds. So maybe this year it's 12 beds. So 12 beds times 7 boxes is 84 boxes. 84 boxes to strip plastic off. What else are you going to do? The thing is, as I've mentioned, I think numerous times today, I'm listening to the tennis on the radio, on Roland Garros radio. They need to do a jingle. They need to sort a jingle out. Maybe I should do one for them. It needs to be a bit better than Roland Garros radio or Radio Roland Garros. But yeah, having the radio on. Oh, and occasionally a massive sticker. Having the radio on, having the tennis on, it's like I'm having entertainment. Well, I'm having entertainment while I'm doing this. So generally, you know, the time goes quite quickly. If I was sitting in an office right now and someone said to me, strip all the plastic tape off 84 boxes. Was it 84 I just concluded? 13 beds of 7, 70, 18, no, that's 91. No, 12 beds of 7 is 70, 84. Yeah, if someone said to me, go and sit in this office all day, stripping plastic off 84 boxes, I'd say, not on your Nelly. Ain't doing it. But because it's for me, because it's from my garden, and because I can do it whilst listening to the radio, I don't mind. And just bend it over a bit so it doesn't boing too much. And it's one of those jobs, like I was mentioning earlier, that I can do sitting down. So if my knees have taken a bit of a hammering, this is the perfect thing to do to just kind of say sorry to them. No, that's it, that's all the plastic. Yeah, to say sorry to them and give them a break. Anyone who's bought something bulky from my shop will also recognise these boxes because they're also what I use for sending out my parcels, because I love a little bit of recycling. Right, that's the first batch done. Moving on to the second. I think though that was a nice little break for me, so I'm going to get back to the lavender harvest. Hello lovelies, we're back with the lavender. So, gosh, this day has gone quickly. This day's been full. It's just gone 10. I just had a genius idea though, because I'm going to do this video in 2 parts, as in, you know, the first part of the day, the second part of the day. Why not download, edit, blah blah blah, the first part of the day before today is over, and then that's another job done. Yay! So I've put my camera card into the computer to download this morning's footage. It takes forever to download. Oh, let's get comfy again. Yeah, it takes forever to download. So I thought, you know, it's downloading. Is it called downloading or uploading? I never know. Down, up, whatever. It's loading. So while it's doing that, I will carry on with the lavender and have a quick chat with you all again. I'm starting another bag of lavender. I've managed to get 3 bags done today over the course of the day. Sometimes I've sat and done it for an hour and a half, like I did at like 7, whenever it was. I can't remember if I was doing my cardboard. Other times it's half an hour, a quick half an hour. But I filled a whole bowl full already, so that's about 500 grams done. Fantastic. I'll carry on with this now whilst my download happens. Then what I'll do is I'll go and edit, which will take, well, I think it's about 45 minutes of footage, as in it's going to be about a 45-minute video. So it'll probably take me about an hour to edit, because I do watch the whole thing through purposely, just in case I've accidentally sworn or something hideous at some point. So by the time I've watched it through, stopped, started, done the edit, it'll be about an hour. Then the render will be a couple of hours. So it's probably going to be another sort of 1 o'clock in the morning finish for me. Now listen, just to say very quickly, I've mentioned the time quite a lot today on purpose, because I wanted people to have a sense of how the day goes, how the time goes, how long things take, what have you. And you know, at this time of year, it is a really, really long day. I got up at 7. I stopped for half an hour at about 5:30 for a bowl of soup. But otherwise, from 7 till 1 in the morning, it's going to be about 1 in the morning. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. That's an 18-hour day, minus half an hour for a bowl of soup. Now, I'm not saying any of this as a pity party. Goodness knows me, no. You all know me well, but I am tired. You know me well enough by now. I don't do that whole pity nonsense. The reason I'm kind of showing this, talking about it today, is because, you know, it's the truth. It's the truth of what it takes to, you know, self-sustain. I've said it on a number of occasions. It would be far easier for me to go out and work for someone else for 40 hours a week and bring home 500 quid than it is to work for myself for 120 hours a week for 100 quid. The point is, I love this. I am my own boss. I'm on my own schedule, etc., etc. And I get a great deal of satisfaction from it. But yes, coming back to that whole time thing and talking about it, no, it's not a pity party. It's more of a way of saying, you know, this is a really, really beautiful life. This is, as far as I'm concerned, it's the good life. Na-da-da, ni-da-da. Oh, copyright. It is a really, really good life. But don't quit your job tomorrow and think that you will tinker in the garden for 2 or 3 hours each day and, I don't know, make YouTube videos, become a star overnight, earn a load of money from YouTube. That doesn't happen. And basically put your feet up, because that's not how it works. It's not how it works. If you're up for having, you know, long days and doing a lot of work, but it being for you, then go for it. Because I've got to tell you, I love it. And I think that's what I'm trying to say about the whole time thing. When I'm talking about the time that it takes up, yes, I'm exhausted. Yes, I'd like to go to bed. Yes, I'd like to have a long hot bath and read a book. But tonight that's not going to happen. It'll happen again at some point. It'll happen in a month's time. it's a good life. It is a good life. All this detritus is going in my laundry basket at the moment. Can you see it's all the crunchy stalks? They also have gorgeous fragrance. All these crunchy stalks will go into or onto, you know, the path that's behind my fence. I've got that path between me and my next neighbour. It's the back of my fence where so I've got all my beanpole hanging racks and where I put my, got no words, I want to say welly boots, wheelbarrow. It's a kind of a bark chip path, but we don't have access to bark chips very often, very seldom. So all of this will go onto that path. It'll give I'm so tired. It'll give a lovely crunch. It'll release its scent. And actually with all my woody bits like this, like the lavender, so the sage, the rosemary, which I need to do harvests of this coming week after the rain, all these lovely bits, they all go into that path. It's a very scent releasing gorgeous path. So yes, right, focus. That download of the footage from my camera should be done by now. The next stage is to then up, down, flying around. I don't know what the words are, but the next stage will be for me to either upload it or download it, whichever it is, into my editing program. That also takes a few minutes. Once it's in there, I can set to and edit. And what I'm thinking is I'm hoping that that will all be done by 11 at the latest. At any points in this rest of this evening that I'm not actually on the computer, I'll just carry on with the lavender. Because the sewing machine's coming back in a few days. Yay! That's going to be weird, isn't it? But the thing is, when the sewing machine comes back, oh my goodness, I'm going to feel guilty about spending time in the garden because I'll think I should be spending time sewing. Just have to work out that balancing act. Right, okay, I'm going to go and check now on the computer in the kitchen to see if that's all ready for me to start playing with. And if it is, I'll get playing and then I'll see you back here a little bit later. Oh my God. Oh la la. So much dusty fluff. Do. Compost. I'll be honest with you, I'm not the world's best housekeeper. Yeah. I generally don't have time, but whilst that video is, the edit's done, by the way, so it's all kind of saving, so I thought, yeah, I'll have a quick scoot. For once, I'm going to go to bed tonight with the kitchen clean. There's no washing up. I can't remember how many washing up sessions I've done, but they're done. It's all done. The kitchen is clean and ready for me to do all of this chaos again tomorrow. Quick sweep of the floor. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm just going to wait for this vid to do its thing now. I think it's probably got another half an hour or so to do. We're fast approaching midnight. Not midnight. Hang on a sec. My clock's gone wonky. Look at that one. We're fast approaching 1 o'clock. What am I talking about? Cut! So there we have it. End of a very long day. I've just noticed when I was sweeping, I've got a flipping hole in the toe of my sock. Right where my big toe is, there's a hole. So annoying, because now that means that's an extra little job for tomorrow. That means setting my sock aside to darn. It doesn't end, does it? Look, what a great day. This is a so typical day for me at this time of year. It's been long. I'm really tired. You can probably tell from my face by now. It's probably like I'm probably now starting to look all my 53 years rather than my usual 39 years, as Richard would say. But it's been a day full of progress, achievement, productivity. I've got all those gorgeous what do you call them? Peppers. All the peppers are frozen. Another 2 batches of tomatoes in the freezer. Fantastic. A ton of lavender processed. I've got cardboard all stripped down, ready to go back to the plot. So tomorrow, it's going to be another rainy day, but I'll probably whiz down there tomorrow to take cardboard and bring lavender back with me. And that's a good bit of exercise anyway. You know, I feel all discombobulated. When it's these kind of rainy days when I don't feel like, I'm not going to be out in the garden, I still want to go for a walk, I want to move, I want to exercise. So yeah, take cardboard down, bring lavender back. What else has happened today? I've done a whole load of admin, accounts, a few bits and bobs at the shop, some stuff for my auntie teapot. There's been a load that's happened today. The things that haven't happened today are things like I haven't had a long hot bath. That'll be tomorrow. I haven't sat on the sofa and read a book. That can happen later in the year when all this harvesting is over. There's lots of stuff I haven't done today, but it's all things that can wait once this main kind of flurry of the year is over. I'm not making sense. I'm so tired. Anyway, there we go. On one last note, do you remember at about, I think it was 5 o'clock this afternoon, it's been a very long day. And by the way, if you stuck with me through this whole day, as in both parts of this video, thank you so much. It actually made my day really fun to do it and kind of stick the camera there and feel like you were all with me. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I have. But yes, back at about 5 o'clock, I was showing you the clock that I nearly dropped into my tomato sauce. And I said, oh, it's ticking. So I turned the handles from 3 to 5. It stopped again. I bashed it. So I haven't touched it since. But it's now, I can't quite see that other clock from there. It's about 1:15. This is what the clock says. It's definitely bust and do lally. Poor little clock. I shan't give up on it yet. I'll have a little dismantle of it and see if I can put it right, put a new battery in, whatever it takes, I'll have a go. But that's it for today. I'm glad I've got the kitchen clean and tidy. Like I said, I'm not a very good housewife. well, I'm not a wife and I don't have a house. Why would I be a housewife? But I'm not very good at doing all that cleaning stuff. I bow down to Richard. I do keep the floor and area around my sewing table immaculately clean. I'm obsessive about that, but the rest of the place, nah. There's dust on the picture frames, there's dust on the... I cleaned that for Richard's visit. Look at that. It's disgusting. It's 3 weeks of dust. Yeah, I'm not normally very good at that kind of stuff, but what I do like to do is at the end of the day, have a bit of a tidy up, because the next day I'm going to start all over again, and I don't want to start tomorrow looking at yesterday's detritus. So to have a clean kitchen, brilliant. My desk, my living room desk, the sewing table, that's clear and clean, brilliant. What am I up to tomorrow? It doesn't matter. No one needs to know. It's just going to be another full day. So for now, I'm going to say cheerio. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this day, over these 2 videos, if you stuck through the whole thing. Like I say, life's more fun when there's someone around, and obviously I can't have anyone in the flat at the moment. So to have the camera in the flat with me and me chatting, it's actually lovely for me, because it feels like I've got you here with me and we're all just hanging out together. So thank you for being here today. Yay! I don't know what I'll be up to next or where I'll be doing it, but I will be doing it soon and I will be bringing it to you. So I hope you'll join me again soon for the thing that I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Lovely people, please take care. Have a good rest of your day, whatever you're up to. Make the most of it. Be productive. It's hard slog at the moment, but just remember, in a few weeks' time, only a few weeks' time, we can all slob out for a whole day. Can't wait. Never mind that. For now, cheerio. Please stay well. I will see you all again soon, I hope. Until then, bye for now.